Can I just rant for a second, guys? And believe it or not, it's not about the color changers themselves, at least not yet. Maybe later on in the video we'll rant about them too, but right now I want to talk about Target stores because they should be held accountable for not inputting their products into their system. Now, what do I mean by that? Let me explain. So my good friend in the area, you know who you are if you're watching, she found this brand new Doc Hudson color changer at her local Target, and I was like, you gotta buy that right away. I haven't found it yet. Please pick it up for me. She went to buy it and they wouldn't allow her to because it didn't scan at the self-register, and the employee was like, yeah, it must mean, therefore, this is not supposed to be for sale yet. Let me squirrel it away because that makes total sense. And now usually when this happens, most of the time after a little bit of a squabbling with the employee, they do end up selling it to you by scanning and a like product like this Revo here. I mean, it's the same price, same product code, same assortment. It's just another character, but it does take a good chunk of your day away, like a good 20 minutes. Back when the new color changers DJ and Cruz and McQueen came out, neither of them scanned. And so it literally every time I went to buy one for a friend or my doubles or whatnot, it took 15 to 20 minutes out of my day talking with an employee, letting them go talk to a manager, going to the back of the store to get another color changer to scan. Gosh, it's so frustrating. So basically, I had to wait another week to do this review because I could not get the one that my friend found nearby. And now, you might be thinking, Mr. Docketer, you're kind of making a lot out of nothing. It's just one car. In fact, it does scan now. I had found this now just a couple days ago, and I was able to scan it and go about my day. But it's not just with these color changers. It's happening with various 155 scale die casts as well. Here's another quick story before we get into the review, and I promise we will. Went to the store the other day, bought 4 KC singles. I think it was like Fair Game, a Quadritorcastar, a Weedle Lee, and a Kathy Copter. 2 of them would not scan in their system, right? But the other 2 did. So it's completely random at this point now. Like, oh yeah, Revo scanned, but Doc wouldn't. Kathy and Fair Game scanned, the other 2 wouldn't. I think that might have been the case. Maybe it was the other 2 or whatever, but it is absolutely incompetent that Target is not being proactive enough, like inputting these into their system so that when people buy them, like maybe you should do this before they hit the pegs. It's just an absolute joke to me, and you could say, yeah, they're not supposed to be out yet. Well, then don't put them on the shelves yet. And if you really need that much time to input everything before you get onto the shelves, God, you're going to lose a lot of business. You're already losing a lot to Walmart, who has singles over $1 cheaper than you. So Target, if you're watching this, I've bought tens of thousands of dollars of product from you over the last 18 years. Get your act together and stop wasting my time because it's so annoying. I literally have chosen just not to buy stuff if it's not going to scan. And I'll tell you guys a little cheat code about how to get around that later on in the video. We gotta wait till we get a little bit deeper in the video before I start revealing my secrets. But we do have these new color changers here to review. Very excited about that. Although they aren't the most exciting ones in the world, at least compared to, Jeff Gorvette last time, which was a brand new character. We do have just new shifts for pre-existing characters. Revo Kos and then Fabulous Hudson Hornet, who previously went from blue to red. I'll show you that. And then there's a factory custom that goes from black to blue. So now this, of course, is blue to yellow. Unfortunately, when I did my color changers reveal video, my documentation said green. Now we'll see. I've heard a few people reporting that he does look a little bit more green, more of a snot mucus color than that pure lemony yellow. So we'll have to take a look. But yellow is a pretty cool shift for him, I would say. Probably better than a lime green that I depicted in that reveal video. I would love it if it looked like that. It looks like honeycomb gold. Beautiful. Now, speaking of things that I thought would happen that did not end up happening, I thought this would have been a Gearston Marshall release, according to my documentation when I did the color changers reveal. Granted, it's a purple classic rod, but it was a different product code, and who would have ever guessed that they would have just done a new shift for Revo Cost that's almost identical to the 2022 version. Honestly, super disappointing to me. I mean, I'll take a new color changer any day, but it's super weird for them to revisit such an obscure character within like a year and a half. Like, it really makes no sense to me. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Gerson Marshall would have made a lot more sense than another Salt Flats character they love to release that has plenty of surface area for them to touch. Honestly, if you ask me now what the shift is and how it's different from before, I really couldn't tell you. I think, we go from like a dark blue to a light blue, and before you went from like a purple to the light blue. I don't know. We'll test them out, see what's going on. But this is pretty frustrating to me that it's so similar to before. They didn't even make an effort to hop down the color spectrum. Like, oh yeah, let's try red or yellow or green or purple. Or, well, I guess they did try purple. But let's just stick within the same, like, millimeter of the color spectrum and revisit blue. I know I'm amped up today, guys. You guys are getting it straight today. I'm amped up. I'm telling you how I feel. And I think you guys need to hear it. I mean, everyone needs to hear the truth. And, yeah, I'm not getting paid. Mattel's not sent me a check yet. So I'm going to tell you how I feel. And Target hasn't sent me a check yet either. And maybe if they do, I'll be a little nicer to them. But hey, you're gonna make me wait 20 minutes to buy a $5 car? I'm too busy. I'm spending all my time with you, driving through the states. Don't know what awaits. It don't matter. I'm spending all my time with you. I'm spending all my time. Here we are out of the package, looking pretty good. We're going to see how they shift, though. That's the real test. And yeah, guys, just the reason it bothers me so much, you might be thinking, like, man, you're making a big deal out of nothing. Like, just be chill. You're being a Karen. But it bothers me because it should not happen. It shows that Target is short-staffing themselves. They clearly don't have enough hands to do all this inputting in time for the merchandise to hit the pegs. And then they're not paying their in-store workers enough. They're not good enough employees. They're just minimum wage employees who have no interest, no incentive if the item sells or not. They'd probably rather it didn't. So they could just go back to, standing there idly, That's the real issue. These employees, they don't know what's going on. Nothing against them, but they have no idea if this needs to be out. I mean, they just see something doesn't scan. They automatically have no clue what to do about it. So that's the problem that I have with it. But anyways, we're going to just put that to bed and get into the review. Before we start shifting them, I just want to show you how they look up against some of similar colors or similar shifts, whatever. Similar cars here. This is the factory custom I reviewed a couple years ago that goes from blue to black. We'll see if it still works, but he's been stuck in black for a while. It is kind of weird though. I've never really seen any other factory custom color changers besides this. And so it almost feels like a canceled release, but I don't think it is. You can see that the wheels are a little different there. The eyes don't look as genuine either. But yeah, it is odd for it to be like the only one like that. Although, wasn't there like a dead giveaway? Didn't they like spell something wrong? I think they might have. And that was like, oh yeah, that's definitely a fake. Nornet, yep, I knew it. Nornet. Yeah. They mistook the H for an N. Yeah, I knew there was something in the text. So they did a pretty good job. Oh yeah, you can see my fingers are already starting to color it blue. And this one, like a weird yellowy color. Yeah, that's not as pure as we would like it to be. And then here's the first one they did for Fabulous Hudson Hornet. They had done regular Doc in the past from like a blue to a black, but this is the first time they did Fabulous Hudson Hornet, who they've been just obsessed with lately. Even for the die cast, released in 2-packs and all that. And yeah, you could see like the red like bleeding into the blue. That's why it looks like it's almost like a sensor underneath a bush. I don't know, it's just weird to describe, but you could just see the red kind of coming through the cracks where it can. It's easier to see in person, but yeah, you could just like see it underneath the blue. So we'll see how well that one works as well. Yeah, this one looks fresh. It's a much brighter blue than this one is. So yeah, it's very interesting to see how they will differ in that regard. And then for Revo here, I will say they went with a nice glossy nose on him. You can see perfectly glossy here in the front. Almost like it's a separate mouth plate. It almost feels like the return of mouth plates with that. But yeah, that's pretty interesting because they did not do that on the last color changer version of him. You can see it's not glossy at all, just a flat finish. So yeah, they might have retooled him a little bit. But you can see this is in this like purple state here, and then now he's currently in the blue, but he's trying to shift into the lighter blue. My problem with Revo is that it's always thrown me off because his front end here is purple, right? That like little spiky flame decal that he has, and that doesn't change colors. But on the real version, it should be a darker blue, right? It should not be that purple color. So yeah, here's the diecast version of him, which is pretty cool. Obviously, they went with black tires instead of the salty white ones you got on the diecast. But yeah, we'll see how this one holds up. I do like the glossy nose. I will give them that. The glossy nose. So yeah, let's just start with him right off the bat here. I'm not really sure what will change what. Oh yeah, this will change him to the lighter blue. All right. Looks pretty good. It's a little bit different from the diecast color. A little bit sky bluer, not as teal. So I like that. So let's see what happens if I put this one in the warm water. All right, so he goes to an even lighter blue. So yeah, I mean, they're all like within that much on the color spectrum, like the light blue, this kind of darker blue, and then the purples and all that. Like, that's why I really have a problem with the Revos here, and the fact that they were like, oh yeah, we just did him a year and a half ago. Let's do him again. Should we do him in like a completely different color, guys, since we're releasing him so close to the original? Nah, they won't know this. Just do it in like pretty much the same thing. It's like almost, that meme where it's like, hey man, can I copy your homework? Yeah, just make sure you change it up a little bit. And he changed it up ever so slightly. Let's get this guy back in his, oh wow, that changed fast. Yeah, that water is absolutely freezing. So it's kind of like a burgundy purple. And then, yep, go over here. And then this one goes to a darker blue. So, I mean, they're different for sure. Both colors cold, both colors warm are different. So you have 4 different colors plus the diecast, man. We're just seeing a lot of Revo here. This is basically the color palette that they use for 60% of the next gens in Cars 3. I mean, if you really think about, Spiky Phillips, Danny Swervez, Will Rush, they all kind of fall into this region, which is why, Rich Mixon flipped over, George Newman stand out so much like they do. He's only missing, like, if he had a little bit of green, then he could encompass, like, Eric Breaker, Jim Reverick, Mafast Fong, and so on. So, yeah, I mean, it's fine, but do we really need this? No, we did not. Will these be the last new color changes for the year? I hope not, but it might be. It might be. I thought last year wasn't great for color changers. I mean, we got Royce Revsley and Cryptid Buster McQueen and that new sheriff to close out the year. I thought 2024 got off to a great start with the new DJ and then Cruz and McQueen with a new shift. Pretty much comparable or comparable to the fabulous Hudson Hornet we have here. But then they went with Jeff Gorvette, which was just one of the best color changers they've ever done. And that green Mailer, which is okay, basically a re-release. So yeah, here is Doc Hudson. Not as pure of a yellow as we would like, not as pure as the card back shows, which, man, those stock images are beautiful for these color changers. They're never that good. He changes, but you could see in this one the blue coming through. I mean, it's such a dark color, and he's going to such a light color. It's hard to get that way, but yeah, this is a lot more green than the card and the advertisement suggests. It's more of that mucusy color without a doubt. I called it. Yeah, this is literally what I cough up. You guys are like, what the hell, Mr. Dockett? It's true. It's true, guys. It's true. I'm being honest. It's a little bit of a traumatizing color. I'm not going to lie. All right, let's check out these other two. So, yeah, if we put him in here, oh, yeah, he'll go back to red. This is a pretty good red from what I remember. Man, I need to heat up this water a little bit. It's taking a little bit to change. But, yeah, this is a phenomenal red here. I would say that this color changer is better just because the red is so pure. You don't have any blue bleeding through or anything like that. The blue on this one's not great. The blue on this one's better. But the red is better than the yellow, if you know what I'm saying. So maybe if they could hybrid them or do like a 3-in-1, that would be so cool. So there are those guys. Let's take a look at the factory custom here. Yeah, this one also is a pretty good blue. You know it's bad when the factory custom shifts better than the real deal. The one problem about the factory custom though is that it does not stay blue for very long. From what I remember, I think I had to like put my blow dryer on it in order for it to stay blue so I could take a thumbnail of the two, you know, one blue, one black. You could already see it kind of changing to black again on the roof. So this one will change back to black in no time. It's really hard for it to keep it, you know, blue. And yeah, look how easily it changed back. It wants to be black. Does not necessarily want to be that blue color. I mean, just look at how clean that is, and it will start fading here shortly. But yeah, that is pretty much all. I wish this was a better yellow, but it's pretty cool to see Doc in some wild colors. I mean, we've seen him now in a lot. Red, yellow, blue, craziness. Yeah, the one thing that's interesting about this color changer is that it's like a hybrid of the original Doc color changer they did from blue to black, and the new Hudson Hornet ones that they're doing. So yeah, it's kind of interesting to think about. It would be like the only really main color changing factory custom. I've yet to see like another true factory custom color changer. Seen like some knockoff stuff, but I need to see a little bit more before I can buy into that. Yeah, let's test this guy out a little bit more. Yeah, it's pretty much as yellow as he's gonna get. It looks pretty cool though. Let's go back to Revo. Definitely one of the weaker waves. But yeah, at least we got two new color changers. It wasn't like when they released Cryptid Buster McQueen. That was the only new one you got in the case. Look at that. That's a little interesting effect. It's like a little gradient we got going on in between the two main colors on Revo. Looks like he's bleeding blue. Pretty cool. It's like he's got some food dye. Or some, yeah, like liquid dye, something like that on him. So yeah, guys, that is all I have for you in this video. Let me know in the comment section below which one of these is your favorite. Man, I have no idea, to be completely frank with you, which one is my favorite. Actually, come on, I have to go with Doc Hudson. The yellow to blue is way better of a shift than this light blue to a dark blue. Yeah, I don't even know what I'm talking about. I do like the glossy nose on him. I can't get over that. That looks really neat. It's just such a weird character to do two of in such a short period of time. Like if they did Axle Accelerator now in a different shift, like I would understand. I'd be fine with it because the last time they did him was literally 14 years ago. So if they came out with like a black to a yellow one now, I'd be like, fine, cool. That's actually awesome. But doing Revo in August of 2022, purple to blue, February, March of 2024, light blue to dark blue, it's like, really, dude? And I can't even scan it at Target? This is a lose-lose. I'm just kidding. Revo did scan. I will give him that. I haven't had a problem with him. I think Doc is good to go, but some of those 2024 singles are definitely having an issue. And I'm not the only one, guys, that everyone's talking about on Facebook, and it's a universal thing. It'll happen in California. It'll happen in Illinois because it's their universal target system. Everything's just computerized in there, and until they input the exact UPC, it will continue to not scan. And I really wonder, like, when it finally clicks over. It's very interesting to me. Maybe they already entered it, but it's on like a timer, so it won't fully go public until a certain date. But you gotta at least make sure that aligns with when the stock will hit the stores. That's all I'm saying. Put me in charge. None of that will happen. I promise. All right, guys. I'll see you later. Bye now.
Spending all my time with you.